Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. This time out, I'm bringing to your attention two very highly recommended nonfiction books, very different nonfiction books, written by child stars, no less. The first one is Sorry Not Sorry by ALYSSA Milano. This is published by Dutton, and it retails for $37. Most people will remember ALYSSA Milano from, first of all, Who's the Boss? And then many years later, she was in the TV series Charmed. Most people still see her as a child star, but she's become a political activist, and a very vocal one at that. And in the book, she writes essays on the state of the world. Now, some might think, oh, I want to read about her childhood and growing up in TV. This is not about that. This is about her life and her take, like I said, on the world around her. The very first essay she writes is about an Native American during an Indigenous Peoples March, that the man who was part of the march was mocked by college students. They did the tomahawk chops and they did very offensive things. And ALYSSA says that all these college kids were wearing red caps that were synonymous with Donald Trump, Make America Great Again. And she says to her they resembled Ku Klux Klan hoods, that the people were just like that they were filled with hatred and racism. And the book is, it rails against Donald Trump. She is definitely not a Donald Trump fan, you can tell that. But those who don't like Trump will agree with ALYSSA Milano and what she writes about. But she just doesn't write about politics. She writes about her family, her children, Black Lives Matter, cancel culture. In fact, it runs the gambit of all areas of life that are pertinent to everyone. She writes about the rape culture, the Me Too movement, and as I said, if you're looking for a fluff book where she writes about her career, this is not it. But if you're looking for a book that has bite, has teeth, and makes you think, you will not be sorry if you read Sorry Not Sorry, because it is ALYSSA Milano at her finest. The second book that I want to draw to your attention is The Boys, a memoir of Hollywood and family by Ron Howard and Clint Howard. And this is published by William Morrow, and it retails for $35.99. I grew up in the 1960s, and I was a big fan of the Andy Griffith Show. And one of the stars of the Andy Griffith Show, besides Andy Griffith and Don Knotts, was little Ronnie Howard. He grew up on that series. It was on for 8 seasons. And he writes this book along with his brother Clint, who might not be quite as famous as Ron, but he still was a popular part of 1960s culture, because Clint Howard was in the series Gentle Ben with Dennis Weaver. It only lasted for 2 seasons, but he still grew up in Hollywood. And this is a very honest book about Hollywood life. Ron and Clint write alternating segments of the book, following one another's thoughts on their life and their times. Their father, Rance Howard, was in the entertainment industry, and their mother, Jean, was also part of that world. Rance was an actor. He wrote episodes of certain series, and one of the interesting things was early in the days of the Andy Griffith Show, Rance went to Andy Griffith and made a comment about little Opie, which is what Ron Howard played. He said he thought the character was too much like most sitcom kids of the 60s. They were smart alecky, and he thought that if they made Opie a character who respected his father, that did not make fun of his family and the people around him, that the character would be so much better. Now, Ron Howard says Andy Griffith could have said, go away, what do you know? But he actually said, that's interesting. And after that, they changed the Opie character to a little boy who respected his father. And that's what made the series so realistic. It wasn't a cocky little kid. It was a child who grew up and learned respect for authority and his family. So then, of course, we all know Ron Howard was one of the stars of Happy Days. That was on for 7 seasons, and of course the Fonz became a iconic national symbol. But in the book, it is very honest. There's nothing controversial. Ron and Clint have lived an amazing life in Hollywood, and of course Ron Howard today is one of the most respected film directors in the world. He has had a series of great, films that he's been part of. He's been nominated for many Academy Awards. They've won Best Picture. And if you're looking for a book that you will want to read every word, I've been reviewing books for 40 years, and I will admit that there are some books over the years that I've skimmed words, just to get to the end. Well, this book, I didn't skip one single word. I read every single word, and it was compelling. And if you want a book that's open and honest, The Boys is one of the best nonfiction books that I've read in quite some time. So those are the 2 books that I wanted to draw to your attention. Hopefully when you're out making your book selections, you will seriously consider these 2. So as always, I thank you for watching these videos, and please do send me your comments, positive, negative, or whatever you want to say to me. So until the next time we meet, as always, stay safe, stay sane, stay social distancing, and do stay in touch. Thanks again for your time. Bye for now.